have some viewer mail.
We do have viewer mail. I
Yes,
like
we
viewer
do.
mail. If you have viewer mail, please send it to Doug@riskandrewardtv.org. I would be happy to answer your question. What do we have this week?
This is from William in Northern California, and he says, I think because they will want to keep Obama in the White House, they will manipulate the stock market so it will go up.
Okay, well, critical thinking is needed here before we get into that. So the first thing is, who's they, and how are they going to manipulate
You know,
it?
they're always doing things.
Yeah, they, them, yeah, that's it. So the conspiracy theory, right? Somebody out there that we don't really understand is doing it. But, and that's okay. I mean, it's okay to have a theory about what's going on, but it's only okay if you back it up with some critical thinking. I mean, the president might want the market to go up. I'm sure there's politicians that do, but how are they going to do it? You can't just make this stuff up. It's got to have some foundation to it.
They have ways.
They don't have just ways. That's horrible. It's a bad decision-making process. So they don't have ways. You have to think through it more than that. If you're thinking, oh no, something will happen, that's not a good way to make a decision. They really don't have ways. In fact, really the president has almost no control over the economy. What can he possibly do that would make such a big impact in people's lives? I mean, certainly if we went to war or we did something like that, maybe it would have an influence. An influence on the market. The market is the trading of the buyers and the sellers in the market. They almost never listen to the president. When the Federal Reserve chairman speaks, everybody stops and parses every word. When the president speaks, nobody listens. So the president has almost no control over
What do you
any of
mean
this.
he has almost no influence?
He has no influence. They listen to Bernanke, every word he says, every press conference, every word is parsed. The president's policy has to go through Congress. He can only do a little bit on his own. Only real major wars or major events it can really move the market from the president. The idea of announcing a new program that's never going to happen isn't going to move the markets. We need real foundational change. The Federal Reserve has 10 times more power to move the economy in the short term than the president does. So, the thinking that the market is going to go up because they, whoever they are going to do something, some magic, is really bad critical thinking. So you might feel that way, but that's not the way you should approach your investment decisions. It's really bad critical thinking. In fact, it isn't critical thinking. It's exactly the opposite of critical thinking.
And what's your takeaway?
So my takeaway is election season is when your critical thinking skills need to come into full bloom. If you've been constantly planting the habit of critical thinking, then you'll have a veritable plethora, a cornucopia, if you will, of tools all ready to combat the spin machines. If not, start critically thinking right now, because you can only reap what you sow.